Mason.
Discord.
Open up. I'm freaking clicking Discord. What's going on here? Going to throw away this yogurt that I don't need because I'll just stay up today, 24 hours on a Monday. How far are we into this? Cool, perfect. 2 hours into the stream. 22 hours, more to go. Hmm? Oh, this game. You know, I gotta say it. Because she has.
Hello? Package. Please open door, please. Yay!
shit, we're in his apartment? Oh fuck, now I'm scared. Now I'm scared. Is that a person or is that a plant? I'll be right there. I'm scared. No, there's no jump scares. We're just delivering a package. This is a UPS POV. Ah! Oh god, sorry. Hello. Yeah, Myrtle from Harry Potter. Why her neck move like that? Hey, what are you doing? That package. It's disgusting. You're gonna help me build it, right? Ew, this is a porno? Is another porn porn? Says the best frame? Yeah, I set it up. Yeah, guys, I don't like scary games. It's not that bad just watching it. Playing it, I could not be playing this shit.
I'm also not scared, but it's, you know, while playing alone, I'm scared.
Pick me activity or just playing a scary game. I do not want you. Do not pick me, please. Damn, what's going on?
Is that it?
Ready? You can leave. Wait, what the fuck? We have to go one floor up, I think. What room number is this again? Go 405. Oh god. Someone's on their period. You built like a twig and you would still eat it up.
True.
Oh, do you need Wingstop to open? I'll order it. No, I ordered it earlier, huh? I did not think Wingstop was open.
Let them do their thing.
Terrible fight once again. It's going wrong like terribly everywhere. I don't know who it's on though. Is it on me?
No, it seems like it.
Like it's the decision making of the Shen, I think. Lol.
Well, support Pantheon just getting free kills, but no, that's good. This team's winning.
Also, if you recommend Yogurt Man, really good. Yogurt Man's on KFC though. If you want to play Falcon.
Pop that.
It's really good. It's really good. I like Yogurt Man. Push and eat. Or just strawberry and vanilla. You're gonna start a fight. You have to eat last. Cards? Deal. Maybe they use the same things every month or every other month. Dragon Ball had it. Basically, basically online game like that. Yeah, you have really strong combos with it though. Sometimes you need to not Shadow with it. Yeah, if you go with high level, you can do it. Yeah, hit level 9, get 25,000.
Stinky. You look me. Sled wants me so bad, bro, but I'm just like, don't want to put out, you know? I want him taking me on a few dates first. What is an appropriate number of dates? I'm thinking 3 is a good amount. 2 to 3. I'm not putting out on that first date. I'm not giving up that. It's not happening. You can try as much as you'd like. It's not going to happen. Old Cled. You freak. You disgusting. What's going on over there? Where is that thing? Slowly. How much magic resistance they have. Yo, Rubes, thanks for the prime. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for helping out the stream. I agree. Baron. So hard to lose a team fight with a brand. listen to a specific type of music on Mondays. Oh. Shit! Good comeback play by them, getting me on that side lane. We lose mid and bot. Massive for them. Bang. Ew, I should have... We might lose Soul because of that. I'm tilted as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. That tilted the fuck out of me there. In my head, I'm like, we're playing it slow, chill, and then something took over where it's like, go, go, go. And now we lose Soul. I'm legit so tilted off that. Might even lose the game off of it. Like, it's so bad, man. Like, Lord Jesus. Yep, rage crit. He's out of here. Druzy. You're letting your emotions get the better of ya. Team's lost the plot here. I don't know what to do or where to be. Best course of action is probably just sit in a bush and just wait for something. Everything, like, I don't know. Just looks cursed. Okay, that is big. we go. Heal up, baby. God, that game was so stressful for nothing. One win from Low Master. Brand played well. Beast, love you at Married at First Sight, Australia. Thank you. Thank you so much. Jesus Christ. It's an absolute battle for these wins. What do you think is better, EU West or NA? Everything below Master Tier, if you compare regions, you're low elo. And you're, like, never... Every region below Masters is the same. If you compare, there's like... You're just coping, bro. Oh, I'm Emerald EUS and it's so much better than Emerald NA. Oh, but I hit Diamond 4 Korea. That's like Challenger NA. Like, bro, anything below Masters, if you're comparing, I know that you're a noob. Above Masters, that's where the differences in service happen. Like, stylistically. Noobs are noobs everywhere, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Thick Kiana, thank you for the 6-month sub, legend. Appreciate that. Thank you to Marky for the 19th month sub. Real Waldorf, thank you for the prime. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it. Thanks for helping me out. Alright, back to this border crisis video. There's no way this is the same guy.
Interview. Good luck.
Could be, though.
You're a brave soldier.
I didn't realize this until after I filmed the interview, but looking back, it actually makes sense. In both encounters, he's on the outskirts of federal land, claiming the government is hiding some crazy shit that he himself just saw.
5 guys in camouflage from head to toe, black masks, with their camouflage backpacks running as fast as they could.
Yeah, that's a crazy situation. So for us as journalists, if we wanted to get the first-hand scoop of what's going on, you mentioned you felt like the processing center was the best place to check out.
Yes.
And that is over there.
I find it curious why it's hidden. Because logistically, it would seem to me to be much more efficient if we put it right up here on the highway. It seems like it was intentionally put 3/4 of a mile off the road, so tax-paying citizens wouldn't see it.
Go in there right now.
Yes.
Follow you guys? All right, cool. I'll see you in a second. Man. Thanks so much. All right, so I guess we actually kind of are in the right place to find migrants to speak to. That dude that just pulled up and talked to us, he actually agreed to take us directly to the migrant processing center where everyone's being kept. He said that it's located like in a hidden location, 4 to 5 miles away from the state road that runs through this place.
You're about to get
So
murdered,
we're
my
just
guy.
gonna follow his car and yeah, hopefully get some footage, guys.
To my surprise, my unbeknownst old friend was not bullshitting about the processing center.
Oh, wow.
In the middle of the Sonoran Desert.
So he's legit about the
behind
aliens as
border
well?
Control vehicles and makeshift tents were hundreds upon hundreds of migrants.
Oh my
all
God.
of whom hopped the U.S.-Mexico border within the past couple hours. It was a shocking sight to see. Hundreds upon hundreds of people from all around the world, herded like cattle on the cold desert floor, sitting in silence, awaiting an uncertain future.
Oh my god, that
Despite
outfit
these
goes hard.
conditions, spirits are generally high, especially among children, many of who have been walking, hopping trains, hitching rides.
Oh, he's chilling. Do they get food and stuff?
Months. Now they've finally made it to the land of opportunity.
They've made
A
it.
nation allegedly founded upon the principles of liberty and radical individuality, where anyone from
they've been walking on this road. This road runs for 12 miles, 12 or 13 miles. And what it does is it parallels our border fence.
In our next episode, Migrant Detention Facility, we'll go undercover and speak with Border Patrol agents and migrants from across the world who are seeking asylum in the United States. We'll also follow a bus full of undocumented migrants and driven by ICE agents who pulled over and detained us after realizing they were being filmed. Like much of our content, this episode is available exclusively on our Patreon, www.patreon.
So if you want to go to America, you just, I don't. So they just walk. You just walk. If you make it past the border, and then you're, do they? What happens? So they don't. They're not allowed to kick you out. They take you in. What happened? I'm so confused with like policies of that. I have a job interview today, Drew. Do you think I should mention I'm Diamond 1 in League? I think you'd be stupid not to mention you're Diamond 1 in League. If I was you going into a job interview, I would probably get your best like 2 to 3 minutes of highlights, clip them together with like montage music. And I would probably show the interviewers that to begin. They will be like, "Good morning, sir. What's your name?" And you'll say, I'm going to stop you right there. Let's just take a minute to watch this. And then you show them that outplay shit, and you're hired, man. Or you're not. It's a 50-50, really. Everything in life's a 50-50. It either goes well or it doesn't. Anyways, if you do get fired or not hired, please do not take it out on me. Chat, if you unironically want life advice, specifically having a job advice, and you go to a streamer and ask, you may be destined for failure in life from your logic, from your problem solving. Us streamers may be the worst people ever to get life or job advice from. We are possibly not real, and we live in a delusional reality. Thank you very much for coming. Make sure to subscribe. This music's a vibe. Alright, 1 game off Masters. I want it more than anybody here. I want it so damn bad it hurts. Ouch, Needles. Thank you for the Prime sub. Appreciate it. My girlfriend found my persona in the closet. I don't know how to explain it to her. What should I do? That is a tough one. So in your free time, you like to dress up as like animal, furry animal? And that's your identity? That's allowed. You can do that. It's 2024. You're allowed to do that. If she can't come to terms with your hobbies and your persona, I would probably leave her, man. For somebody who's more accepting of your more than one identity. That's what I would do personally. The fact that it's even a problem is a red flag on her part. She seems like a walking red flag. I would leave. Hope it helps. Hope the advice helps, man. Good luck in your life. Alright, let's lock in, let's lock in, let's lock in. We're one game off Masters. I was aiming to be Masters yesterday, but my LP gains are way lower than I thought they would be. There's some really sus questions being asked of me right now. I'm just going to turn my chat off and lock in for a little bit. If you do want to contact me, just know text-to-speech donations will be beginning at $2. I don't know if I like our comp. I think I don't like it. Casio and Evane is fine though. The fact they have Bel'Veth in a lane is concerning to me. Go, fist me, yeah. Bang. Senna, your sword's going through me. Senna.
Shut the fuck up, Midbeast. Nobody asked you, bitch. You ugly fucker. You fat, four-headed fuck. Shut up.
Hey, Chud. Thank you for the great content. Keep it up.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. No time, anytime, you know. I'm here for that. Nice. Can't believe I died there through flash and barrier. Lol. Lol. What is going on? Are you on basing or are you chilling? Oh I just sent a Loki good.
fuck up, Midbeast. Nobody asked you, bitch.
Shut up.
You ugly fucker. You fat, four-headed fuck. Shut up.
I want to see you in Monsters today. Go get it, Daddy. Keep the grind up. Love you.
Thank you, son. I'll try my best. There's no guarantees.
Okay, let's do some, oh, shall I see someone else? I was gonna watch this, but... I've only mapped out 6% of the resolutions. Global ocean map could increase safety. Give earlier tsunami alerts because we haven't mapped out ocean. Shortwave signs that map 20% of the world's ocean flow. I would say that getting the number to 100% would improve everything from tsunami warnings to internet reliable energy because we can find like better passageways to build our infrastructure. People need to understand that as the ocean kind of opens up, the depth of the ocean creates more complications for architecture and for engineering and for design. So people are probably wondering how tsunami warnings. We can map out the ocean floor, and it can show us kind of like the worst angles of attacks, and hopefully then build policies for other countries to not build, massive cities in those areas, or don't try to build as much in those areas. You might be able to keep it to like tourism, maybe. And of course, you increase earlier tsunami warnings. We can have better sensors further out into more prone, tsunami areas to also just give people an added sense of safety, even just added sense of safety, and probably also saving their lives. Because imagine you live near the coastline, and like a general warning, they probably could have detected the waves that are forming much faster versus going after like seismic activity. Yeah, it'd be quite remarkable. It'd be good. But my main concern is basically like how much of the current human scientists on Earth are saying we've maybe seen 9% of the ocean life. So I sat here and thought, there's 91% of the ocean essentially, I'm gonna call that unexplored. Yeah, right? It's a lot. We just don't have, we've never dedicated just in human species. We've mapped out some crevices and ravines, but even then, there's probably could be deeper, kind of reverse mountains, crevices and ravines that are, housing more life. It could also be unique to Earth, not unique to Earth, but just are there more marine life we haven't discovered? That's a lot. It's basically telling me, and most of humanity, that the ocean not only is a giant blue, area. You don't know how much unknown there is. So, yeah. Like, for prime example, we don't know how many dolphins there are. And I was like, well, dolphins, their brains are 5 times larger than humans. They are, theoretically speaking, because they have a larger brain. They might live longer, more physically capable than humans, and of course in their blue ocean. But estimates are maybe like hundreds of millions. It could be, I think I've seen it as high as 380 million or more. It could be 500 million dolphins. We have no idea how many dolphins there are. But the weird part, like I said, is that dolphins, like their brains, are 5 times larger than humans. And there could possibly be other whale species. Like, whales already live a long time. Like sharks, for example, I think the oldest age's shark was like 700-something years. Either 600, 700, 800 years. Either or, sharks live a long time. Sharks live like 6 to 8 times longer than humans. But I think, what was it? Just from a marine life standpoint, like jellyfish alone, I think have like the longest lifespan or something like that. So we already know there could be marine life, right? But the oceans are so massive, and we haven't mapped out the oceans enough to know all the life forms in the ocean. To kind of give humans a heads up. Humans are humans are basically dancing around on land, chilling, but the oceans are massive, and they have more depth. And a lot of the ocean is unexplored. The vast majority of the ocean is unexplored. The vast majority of marine life, we don't know what's out there. So I need humans to kind of stop and just like look to the ocean and just kind of realize, like here on Earth, we should probably commit more of our state and federal resources to mapping out, how many couple thousand miles away from U.S. and allied territory. Start mapping that out. And start putting kind of beacons, sensors, like 1,000 miles away from like our allied nation's coastline and our coastline. One, to map out the marine life so we can protect them too. We built the catalog. Zoology is great. Anthropology is great. And mapping out all these creatures and species. One, to keep them protected. Hopefully we don't injure or harm these other species and affect their ecosystems or their way of life. Because she built whatever the habitats are, versus the Atlantic Ocean, whatever wildlife is out there, versus the sea life that's in the Pacific. But it's always been a daunting task. It's always been in the back of my mind. Like, we're bipedal. We're smart bipedal creatures on land. But in the ocean, there are creatures that live longer than humans. They have larger brains. And we don't know what's out there, basically. Any other scientist, even Google's like, we don't know what's out there. And so, I've always thought of it as like defense. If there's ever a reason to build better defenses built into the ocean, or every 100, 200, 300 miles out, now would probably be the time. People are like, what? Yeah, like if you wanted to protect the California coast and the Washington coast and the Oregon coast, the federal government needs to start building like sea defenses. You have to start doing them now, because with 3 years' time, that gives you enough time to build up. People are kind of like, what kind of sea defenses? Well, we can utilize more RPAs, like automated drones out in the ocean, so the Navy government can have drones like, that are submersible, and drones that'll be topside, and drones that'll kind of fly too, of course. And the Navy can then start automating these kind of AI drones that just fly out. But the problem with AI ones is that I guess you could just use them as sensors. So they need to be able to report any kind of metallic object they scan in the ocean. So on the proximity, we'll be able to find large pieces of metal that are floating in the ocean, and on top of that, for defense of the nation, you can have more automated surface and submersible and aerial drones running automation on AI, protecting the Pacific coast. But they can't have any kind of weapons on them. Reason being is because you still need commercial fishermen to sail through, and you still need civilian and tourists to travel through the Pacific. So you really can't go heavy with weapons on drones, but essentially just create policies where these drones, naval drones that'll have their own ships, hovercraft drones, and then some submersible drones. They can only be sensors, but we need that for defense. One, we can now start using those sensors, really advanced sensors too, that are fucking incredible. They could scan and handle thousands of objects within a millisecond, and discern all the data, the size, shape, the speed that's traveling at, and give you all that data back. And with that, you're on, really boring things. So your AI models know exactly kind of what's there, and it can discern or give humans, us, a heads up, like fish, whatever, ocean sharks, whales, and also start checking for like mineral oil too, oil deposits, gold deposits, platinum deposits, titanium deposits in the Pacific Ocean. So one, the U.S. probably should just go ahead and the Pacific's right in front of us. There's no other country except for, state of Hawaii. I don't know if Hawaii wants to be another country again, but they are currently a U.S. state, so they get a lot of money from the federal government. I think it's really hard to have Hawaii become its own country, because then they lose, no, I take that back. If Hawaii does want to become their own country, they're really just U.S. businesses, and they want to be there, and U.S. government bases should just pay Hawaii like a lot of money to be able to have their stuff on their land, and that would boost the Hawaiian economy. So for one, do this: Hawaii should become its own country, or just make another policy for Hawaii. It's super easy, where basically states like anyone born on Hawaii gets like a universal income check. But if you move to Hawaii and you live there, you have to have already brought your own job or economy or whatever. But native-born Hawaiians, anyone born in Hawaii, should be just getting like universal basic income. And what you do is just have the federal government, if they aren't already doing it, just have them pay more money from the military bases that are there, and U.S. businesses want to be there, even though the state of Hawaii can create another set of legislation. What is that called? Just taxes, people. Just fucking taxes. So just tax extra U.S. businesses that want to operate in Hawaii. And then with that extra tax revenue, put it somewhere useful, like universal basic income for people in Hawaii. So no one has to suffer in Hawaii. It makes it much easier. And in terms of the state of Hawaii, hopefully they've already done this, but if you haven't planned out when new islands start popping up, because they are, over the next 20, 30, 50, 60 years, 100 years, more islands are going to keep popping up. Hopefully the kind of scientists are living and present that are there, that are mapping out kind of how the tectonic plates are shifting. Because, and make sure there's enough escape boat craft if you need to evacuate everybody. People are always saying, what? Like, because the islands themselves are these massive volcanoes, and they're still active, and they're making new islands around itself, make sure that the state of Hawaii, even the federal government, needs to make sure the state of Hawaii has enough escape aircraft, boats, flying ones, drones, whatever, helicopters, more boats that are there to rescue everybody. Because there may come a time where we might have to evacuate Hawaii, and people need to understand what that means. It's because there could be so much danger that we might, in the future have to plan for something that may or may not happen, but basically you might have to like evacuate all of Hawaii. And it's better to kind of inform the public now so that they're not blindsided. You know what I mean? I think it definitely helps. Sorry, Hawaii. But, if the U.S. and China go to war, it'll be, a really tough battle. Because even though the Chinese economy is currently collapsing, because even with Australia, Japan, Hawaii, Thailand, or Vietnam, South Korea, if they're all fighting against China, it's going to be really hard to tell people to stop taking extra land. So let me explain like the greater sense that people aren't understanding. I fear that the next repercussion that could happen is like Vietnam starts conquering land because like it'll be like a massive warfare, right? But then Vietnam's gonna want revenge, and Thailand's gonna want revenge. They're gonna start invading China and like taking their land, and then when it's all said and done, we're gonna like what try and then tell the other countries that kind of want reparations, like, hey, you can't just take this land you took from China in the middle of war. We really have to tell them no and to like push back their lines. See what I'm saying? And I do fear that Japan will like act out more vengeance. You know what I mean? Like even though they're our ally, I do fear that Japan might, you know, go crazy in the war and like commit more atrocities. Why? Why I say this? Because of their past. You know, that's what I fear. I fear South Korea will do the same thing too. I do fear that in the middle of the war, all this war going on in the future, hypothetically, like South Korea will start conquering and like taking a lot of land, and then it's gonna be really hard for us to tell South Korea like, hey, you gotta not take all this land y'all just took. See what I'm saying? So it's better to like inform the public now. Either the whole world marches for peace, or old dudes that are drawing their dicks in the sand are going to force millions of people to die. That make more sense? So yeah. It's better to inform the public now because they don't realize that basically Intel already dropped like 2 or 3 years ago. China wants to invade Taiwan in the spring of 2027. So for the past few years, all the other governments are just ramping up their defenses. So you have to start building now coastal defenses for California and Oregon and Washington. You need more drones to patrol the seas because you can only commit so much in person power to kind of keep eyes on everything. Even with sensors, you need more. You definitely just need more. In terms of defenses for the Pacifics, because it's wide open, you can only have so much. We have 4 fleets on the Pacific, right? But they're on defense, so we don't use them on offense. The moment you start committing naval fleets that are usually sitting in a defensive formation forward, you weaken the defense of the coastline.
I don't know what's going
so
on.
They can't move. So right now, the problem too in terms of warfare, we have 1 fleet that's already with Japanese and Australians and the Philippines. We have 4 new bases in the Philippines. We built 2 in Japan. So we're forming up 2 new bases in Japan, which means they're kind of ramping up for war already. And then they were building 4 new bases in the Philippines to ramp up their defenses. The Philippines are beautiful men and women, brilliant brothers in arms. They love to have us. We love to work with them. We fought well with them before. Great allies, and a democratic country too, that voted out a wannabe fascist dictator. The whole, their democracy is so strong and kept it intact. And so, Filipino brothers and sisters, you know that with ally at your back with the United States, there will always be special forces and backup and just oversight. And like the skies are clear, is no way to put it when you're fighting with, as the United States. The skies will always be clear, but not for the enemy. And so, yeah, I mean, yeah. But it's better to inform the public now so that they can kind of prepare accordingly. I think that's fair. If countries are preparing for war, then you should probably allow the public to know too. You know what I mean? Right? We're paying them the fucking taxes, right? So, yeah. I bet everyone in Australia would love to know, like, are we preparing for war in 3 years? When you want to fucking tell us? I bet every fucking Australian is going to start talking like, these motherfuckers knew 2 years ago? Yeah. So, same thing in the United States. I think most Americans would like to know, right? We pay the U.S. government fucking taxes our whole lives. You should tell us if you're preparing for war 5 years ahead of time. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, don't worry, Australia. You got with the, like I said, with the U.S. at your back, your skies are clear. We control air superiority, air dominance everywhere. So our NATO allies can sleep sound at night. We have the world's best air defense, stealth fighter pilots. Even if they launch a missile, our stealth fighters intercept it. They can shit bricks. And the enemy doesn't even realize that our stealth fighters intercepted their missiles. It's like they eat shit. But yeah, my main concern is I think Japan and their military will commit atrocities again because of their past, and that South Korea will do the same, Vietnam and Thailand will do the same. They'll enact atrocities onto the China in the middle of this giant war. It's gonna be really hard for us in the U.S. to stop them, because then what does that create? More conflict. Damn. And the reason you need to prepare the people of Hawaii, make sure you have enough air, craft, just in general, craft, aircraft, boat craft, whatever, to evacuate Hawaii, because there could come a time where, if China is trying to hit a target, right? Like if China's trying to hit a target and they want to lash out, China would aim at Hawaii. Y'all understand that? Right? Like if the China wanted retaliation in the middle of a war to hit something that the U.S. has, they might just launch missiles at Hawaii because it's closer to their country. If they fire over the northern hemisphere, people understand that Canada's there. So if you fire over the northern hemisphere, our Canadian brothers and sisters launch their anti-air missiles, their AA missiles to take out. So they would fire, if like China ahead of time would want to hit a target and retaliate, they would start firing missiles at Hawaii. Long range motherfucking missiles. That's motherfucking cool. Yeah. So, federal government, state government, for Hawaii should make sure they have enough craft in place to evacuate the island. In case.
Why is...
So what they'll probably do is commit
Jarvan is ulting Bard through portals
to evacuate Hawaii. But when you do that, you weaken the defense of the United States. You cannot.
I feel sick.
So when the people of Hawaii are going to be like, as the U.S. military starts evacuating, we don't have enough boats. So we have about 3 years to prepare. Maybe 2.5. Might have 2.5, 3 years to basically.
Something will go right this game eventually, right? It has to,
And I hope all families in Hawaii have boats, but I guarantee you there's going to be a subset that don't. And we can only fit so many personnel on our ships. So we can't commit more, the 5 fleets in the Pacific, four of them protect the West Coast, and one of them is near Japan. And Japan has the pride on it. No offense, Philippines, but we can only commit 1 fleet. So if China hits Australia, Philippines, and Japan at the same time, we can only really commit our fleet to defend Japan. I think Japan's defense is going to be in place, and I imagine admirals are probably already planning to commit a second fleet to defend the Philippines. You see what I'm saying? But if we let go of a fleet that's guarding the U.S., it weakens the U.S. Okay. We have 3 fleets in the Atlantic. We have 5 fleets in the Pacific. Then again, check this out. If we just commit all 5 fleets to China, they may weaken California defense line, but you go all out and you kind of just all in. You go for the early game. See what I'm saying? If all 5 fleets are parked like an arch, then they can just kind of encapsulate like a wall. All 5 fleets in the Pacific that are committed forward would create like a wall. And with that wall, maybe defend Hawaii. Or you just have to commit all your forces. Or you evacuate Hawaii.
I think Annie still has a whole load. We go back.
It's like 40 something.
Bang! Bang, bang! Only Vayne left. He could go superhuman mode though.
Oh no, it feels colder than 50. It feels like it's, yeah, it feels like 45.
Are we ending?
It's cold, it's just too cold.
Oh my god, we actually ended. We won. I don't know how we won that. Holy
Oh,
shit, what a stressful
Oh,
game.
victory. GG. Should be
Doesn't
more
matter,
GGs
still
in chat.
Masters. Let's go.
What are they?
Wow. We are officially
Is that on
Masters
camera?
1
No,
point.
it's too fast.
Lego.
It's not that fast.
This may be one of the toughest master
This
grinds.
is-
Pretty.
What?
I think it's